everyone, I'm Audrey and welcome to Cheerful Journey channel. Today I'll be sharing with you how I made the notebook that I'll be using for my bullet journal. If you were able to watch my bullet journal setup for the month of January, you would know that I'm just using a regular dotted notebook. The paper that was used in this notebook is just around 70 GSM. So in order for me to avoid the bleeding of ink whenever I'm using it, I just stick 2 pages together. Although it solved my initial concern, I find it quite time-consuming. Since I'm just sticking 2 pages together, this notebook lasted me for just 3 months. So I decided it might be better for me to make my own notebook. So if you want to see how I made this notebook, please keep on watching. Here are the materials that I used. Paper, cutter, scissors, bone folder, discs. Actually, I just removed the discs from my old Me and My Big Ideas Happy Planner so I could reuse it here. And then a plastic placemat. Yes, you heard me right. Plastic placemat because we will be using that later as the cover. For those of you who might be interested, I'm using the Paper One 100 GSM paper in A4 size, so I just need to cut it into 2 in order for me to have my desired A5 size. And then I searched Google for a template for a dotted paper. I chose the Savor and Savvy site and then downloaded the 8.5 by 11 template. Now we have a dotted template for our journal. Now it's time for us to print this dotted page. I chose to print it in A4 size. Be sure to print it on both sides of the paper. After printing, I just folded the paper crosswise so I can have the A5 size that I desired for my notebook. And then using the bone folder, I just creased the edges. I find this task therapeutic, but in order for you not to be bored in this video, I'll just fast forward it. Now that we're done folding the paper, it's time for us to proceed to the next step. It's time for us to cut the paper. It is easier for me to cut the paper using my handy-dandy paper cutter, but you can also use a pair of scissors if you're more comfortable using it. Another tip to achieve that clean cut is to use a thin and sharp knife, but please be reminded to be careful while using it. Now that we're done cutting it, it's time for us to put some holes in our paper. I'll be using this sponge board from We Are Memory Keepers. At this point, I'm contemplating what hole combination to use. Good thing that this sponge board has a cheat sheet at the back. Since I want this notebook to be disc bound, I'll be using the puncher intended for discs. Now it's time for us to punch, punch, and away! By the way, you may also use this mono puncher to create that disc punch that you want. You may also use this 2-hole puncher if you have it at home. Let me demonstrate for a while how you may use your 2-hole puncher to create some discs hole on your paper. And then using a pair of scissors, you need to put slits on those holes. Now that we're done creating discs holes on our paper, it's time for us to think of the cover. When I showed you the materials earlier, I told you that we will be using a plastic placemat for our cover. I decided to use a plastic placemat for the cover because it is sturdy, it is durable, it is waterproof, and most of all, it is affordable. We just need to cut the placemat in A5 size, and then I decided to put a little extra, just a few centimeters, in order for it to cover the pages. We cut 2 covers, one for the front and one for the back. I tried using my punch board to create the disc holes on this placemat, but because it is very durable, it just created a little dent. Meaning I had a problem earlier how to create those holes or how to put those holes on this placemat cover. Using a pencil, I just marked those holes from the paper that we punched earlier to the cover, and then I decided to try using a soldering iron to put those holes. Fortunately, the soldering iron worked and I was able to put holes on the cover. Using my scissors, I just put some slits on those holes in order to prepare it for the disc binding. Now it's time for us to put on those discs. After we finished putting the papers, let us now put on the cover. And now we have our beautiful and durable notebook that I'll be using for my bullet journal. What I like about this notebook, aside from the fact that I made it myself, is that I was able to choose the type of paper that I'll be using in this notebook. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to click that like button. And if you want to see more videos such as this, please don't forget to click that subscribe button and that bell button so you will be notified every time I upload new videos. That's it for now. And please don't forget to join me again next time in my wonderful world of Cheerful Journey. Bye!